Welcome back to the deep dive. This is where we take that huge pile of information you've shared with us, all the articles, the spec sheets, the industry buzz, and we try to boil it all down into something you can actually use. And today, we are settling a real heavyweight title fight in personal audio. We're going deep on the battle between premium noise-canceling headphones, the Sony WH-1000XM5, that's the champion from 2022, versus the brand new flagship, the WH-1000XM6, which just landed.
And it's such an important comparison because we're not just talking about headphones, we're talking about investments. Both of these are, the absolute pinnacle of Sony's audio innovation. To be honest, the XM5 is still better than 99% of what's out there. Okay. So our mission today is really laser focused. We want to cut through the marketing and help you understand if this new technological leap in the XM6 really justifies that higher price.
Exactly. This isn't pocket money we're talking about. It's an investment in your focus, in your sanity when you travel. So we need to know, is this upgrade a small step or is it a revolution? Let's jump right into the engine room.
Okay, so let's start with the absolute core of what makes this whole series the benchmark, the noise cancellation. The new XM6 is claiming its biggest win right here, and it seems to come down to two things: the processing chip and the microphones.
That's it. If noise cancellation is a symphony, the processor's the conductor and the mics are the ears. And the WH-1000XM5 was stellar. I mean, it used the QN1 processor, 8 microphones. It had that auto NC optimizer, which was great for adjusting to your environment. Really fantastic.
But Sony didn't just tweak it for the new one. They basically tore it all up and started again. This is where it gets interesting. The XM6 has this new revolutionary HD noise canceling processor QN3. So my first question is, was the old one, the QN1, was it really that slow? Is a normal person going to feel the difference here? That is a great and very critical question. And on paper, the QN1 was, it's fast enough for most static environments. But the QN3, it's a genuine quantum leap. And that's because of its speed. It operates at 7 times the processing speed of the QN1. This isn't about raw power. It's about real-time predictive power.
7 times faster? I mean, that sounds a little bit like spec sheet marketing, unless you can give me a real-world example.
Absolutely. Think about walking down a busy street. The noise is constantly changing. A truck suddenly slams on its brakes. A siren starts up a block away. The XM5 had a tiny lag, we're talking milliseconds, but you could perceive it, as it registered and filtered that new sound. The XM6 with the QN3 and the jump from 8 mics to 12 microphones.
12? Wow.
It processes that information so quickly it can almost predict and cancel the noise before you fully register it.
So more speed, more data inputs, that equals a whole new level of precision. And the software got an upgrade too, right?
Correct. The XM6 now has the adaptive NC optimizer. So this system isn't just looking at ambient noise and air pressure. It's using all that extra speed to analyze how you're wearing the headphones. So if you put on a hat or if you wear glasses, that changes the physical seal around your ear.
Right. It creates tiny gaps.
Exactly. And the XM6 intelligently monitors for those little leaks and adjusts the noise canceling frequencies on the fly to compensate. It maintains that perfect bubble of quiet in a way the older models just couldn't.
So for anyone who flies a lot or commutes through a city, that 7x speed means the quiet is just more consistent. It adapts from the platform to the train to a tunnel without missing a beat.
Precisely. It becomes seamless. You forget the system is even working.
Okay, so the outside world is now perfectly silent thanks to that QN3 chip. The real test is what they're putting inside that bubble. Let's talk sound, audio fidelity. This is another area where the XM6 is targeting, and they're using the term studio quality.
And this is where the physical engineering really comes into play. The XM5 had a great 30mm driver, very light, very responsive for a consumer headphone.
But the XM6, it brings in this lightweight carbon fiber dome. I know carbon fiber from, race cars and planes. What does it actually do for a headphone driver?
It's all about stiffness and weight, or rather the lack of weight. A driver has to vibrate incredibly fast to create sound. If it's too heavy or flimsy, it can't stop and start cleanly. That creates distortion. It smears the details in the music. By using a carbon fiber dome, the XM6 driver can react almost instantly to the audio signal.
So less distortion, quicker response. It just results in a cleaner, more transparent sound.
That's the word, transparent. And that's so key that Sony actually co-developed the sound profile with world-renowned mastering engineers. The goal wasn't just to make it sound pleasant. The goal was to make it sound accurate, exactly as the artist heard it in the studio.
And to make sure all that quality actually gets to your ears, it supports high-resolution audio wireless through LDAC technology. Can you quantify that for us? What does 3 times more data actually mean for what I hear?
It means You hear the space, you hear the nuance. Standard Bluetooth has to compress the audio file, and in doing that, it throws away the subtle stuff, the decay of a cymbal, sound of the room, an artist's breath before they sing. LDAC opens up a much bigger data pipe, so all those little details that make a recording feel alive, they're preserved.
Okay, so playback is studio quality. But what about communication? We're all using these for calls now. We saw the mic count jump for noise cancellation. Did that help with call quality too?
Oh, a massive upgrade. The XM5 was already pretty good with 4 beam-forming mics. The XM6 uses a 6-microphone system, and it's AI-based.
AI-based. So what is the machine learning actually doing for my voice on a call?
Think of it like a surgical audio assistant. Older systems just tried to filter out any loud background noise. The XM6's AI has been trained on thousands of hours of sounds. It doesn't just filter noise, it identifies it. It knows the specific audio signature of a barking dog or a siren or an engine, and it can surgically remove that sound while leaving your vocal frequency completely untouched. It's incredible. It basically turns a loud cafe into a quiet office for the person on the other end.
All right, let's move from the guts to the outside, the design. This is a big deal for travelers, especially since the XM5 had that controversial non-folding design.
It was elegant, for sure. The seamless slider, the soft fit leather, very comfortable. But it was bulky, the ear cups folded flat, but the whole thing didn't collapse inward. That meant the carrying case was, pretty large.
And the XM6, it seems they listened to the frequent flyers and went back to a foldable design.
They did. It's a much more compact package now. The case is smaller. It has a nice magnetic closure. It's a direct response to that portability issue. They also really focused on long-term comfort.
Right, because with a 30-hour battery, you might be wearing these for a long, long time.
Absolutely. The XM6 headband is wider, it's asymmetrical. They actually analyzed pressure points on the head to design it for pressure-free comfort on a long flight. Those little ergonomic details make a huge difference after hours 6 or 7.
Let's get to the elephant in the room when it comes to convenience, though, because there is a pretty painful trade-off with the XM6.
This is probably the most divisive choice Sony made. The XM5 has Bluetooth 5.2, but it kept the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. And if you fly a lot, you know how important that is for older in-flight entertainment systems.
But the XM6, the port is gone.
It's gone. The XM6 upgrades to Bluetooth 5.3, which is great for stability, but it completely eliminates the 3.5 millimeter jack. It's a clear signal that they are all in on a wireless future. But for anyone who relies on that wired connection, that could honestly be a deal breaker.
A real deal breaker. Okay, but on the flip side, charging speed is a huge, undeniable win for the XM6.
A massive practical upgrade. They both have that excellent 30 hours of battery life, so that's a tie. But the XM5 takes about 3.5 hours for a full charge. The XM6, if you use a USB PD compatible adapter, can get you 3 hours of playback from just 3 minutes of charging.
3 minutes for 3 hours.
Yeah, that's a game changer if you're rushing for a flight and forgot to charge them.
And what about that ambient sound control? How does the XM6 improve on the speak-to-chat function from the XM5?
Speak-to-chat is still there, but now there's auto ambient sound mode. Because it has that super fast QN3 processor, it can balance your music and external sounds in real time, so it can filter out general chatter, but it knows to let a boarding announcement through, or a colleague's voice if they ask you a question, all without you touching a thing. It's adaptive listening at its smartest.
So when we look at the scorecard here, the XM6 seems to have won almost every single technical category. Faster noise cancellation, better call quality, better audio, more portable design, way faster charging. But the reality is that tech costs money, and the XM5 is going to be seeing some heavy discounts. So how do we help you weigh the XM5, the value option, versus the XM6, the investment?
This is the final and most crucial analysis. The XM5 is now a fantastic value proposition. You are getting top-tier performance for a much lower price. The XM6 is a future-proof investment in the absolute cutting edge.
Okay, so let's break it down. Who should stick with the older champion, the XM5?
You should choose the WH-1000XM5 if you want world-class noise cancellation at a much more accessible price. And critically, if you absolutely need that 3.5 millimeter jack for older planes or audio gear, it's a proven, reliable model. It's perfect if you're using them mainly for music and entertainment with maybe some occasional calls. It's the smart money buy right now.
And who is the person that needs to spend the extra money and go for the XM6?
You choose the WH-1000XM6 if you demand the absolute best, undisputed leader in noise canceling technology. That's the QN3 processor and the 12 mics. If you need superior professional-grade call quality for work, those 6 AI mics are the real deal. Or if you're a frequent traveler who needs that new foldable design and values that truly studio-quality audio with LDC, you're buying speed, precision, and portability.
And the early reviews seem to back that up. The XM6 already has a 4.3 out of 5-star rating, so it sounds like the market agrees the leap was worth it.
It seems so. You're really choosing between proven excellence and adaptive intelligence. Both are phenomenal. The XM6 is just operating on a whole different level.
So no matter which way you go, both the XM5 and the XM6 are investment quality headphones. They really are the benchmark that everyone else has measured against. It's a testament to Sony's dedication to audio.
I think the most revolutionary thing here, it isn't just one feature. It's not the carbon fiber or the extra mics. It's the processing power itself. That QN3 chip being 7 times faster. It allows the headphones to constantly monitor your world and adapt in real time. That's the new baseline for what personal electronics can be.
So here's a thought for you to chew on. Think about what other daily experiences could be revolutionized by a processor that can monitor and adapt to its environment 7 times faster than what we have now.
Exactly. Imagine that predictive, adaptive intelligence in your phone, your car, your home. This ability to handle so many complex inputs all at once. It points to a future of hyper-responsive, truly personal technology. And we're just seeing the beginning of it right here in these headphones.
A fascinating thought. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.